and what this is displacing. And that's a very different concern, and it's got nothing to do with me saying children shouldn't watch television, children shouldn't do social networking, it's all evil and makes them do bad in school. That's not at all what I'm saying. All I'm saying is that if they are spending very high numbers of hours, and that's what they are spending, on non-educational software, and they're not, most of it is entertainment-based, there are going to be consequences, and we are seeing some of them now. And I am confident, which Jerry was saying, I too, Jerry, am confident that ultimately the pendulum will swing back. What I disagree about is that I know you don't like the word control, but we do have to control, certainly with younger children. The word control is necessary, that ultimately we can't negotiate with younger children over technology. There are times we simply have to take control and say no, and really the issue is freedom of censorship, God help us. The idea that we do have a right and the need as adults and parents to censor some of the information going into our children's bedrooms on screens. And that's the area of control that I think is important. I do think, and I agree with you, Donald, that when it comes to teenagers, it's a very different matter. And trying to control a 6'2" rugby-playing son up in Scotland is a rather different thing from saying no to your 4-year-old on a Nintendo game. But I think the real thing is that if we can have some sense of control over younger children, 10 years from now, you won't need me on the stage going like this, trying to point to some of the problems we're having at the moment, and the pendulum will swing backward. And really, I could go and measure point to point everything that the opposition was saying. One thing I would like to say is that the problem with understanding this area, and the reason that I didn't include some of those papers in my academic papers, is that when you start to look at the research funding, where does the money come from doing the research? And you find all the money is available from a technology background to do research on the effects of technology, but there's hardly any money available to look at the effects of technology in a negative kind of way. And this is a problem. It's a problem with the pharmaceutical industry. It's a problem with the nutritional journals and so on. And it's now a problem in technology that most of the studies, and I'm given telephone calls. I get emails all the time from the big household name technology companies. They offer me money to do surveys and look into some of the things, and things for grown-ups as well as children. Funny enough, do you know something? No one ever tells me, I'll give you money to encourage people to talk to one another face-to-face, or to read books, or to pay attention to your teacher, or to go outside and walk and get some fresh air. And I wonder why there's no money available for that. So when you hear about studies finding this and studies finding that, there is a political lobby group issue here. So ultimately, what I would say to you is, A, when you're worried about your child's health, do you pick up the telephone and say, hello, I'd like to speak to a child software developer? Or B, do you call someone who's a child health expert, a doctor? And I think that's what we have to listen to, the studies that come from a more medical world. And in the medical world, we have an expression, first do no harm. In other words, when something new comes along, whether it's a vaccine for swine flu or anything else, the rule of thumb is better leave well enough alone and don't have too much of something until we know more about it. It's true of pharmaceutical products generally. It's true of foods and many other things that we expose our children to. But it isn't true of technology at the moment. And what I would say is, don't let children see as much technology during their young developing years until we know more about the effects. The fact that I have intentionally showed you some of the very new worrying studies means that because these studies exist, it's better safe than sorry, and better to let them look at less than to look at more. And that's all I'm talking about, the balance and the increasing use at the moment, not the way things hopefully will be in future. I rest my case. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you very much, Aric, and thank you to all our panel speakers. We're now going to take a vote, and obviously this vote has no kind of policy consequences or anything, it doesn't commit you or the conference or any of us to the position, but it is going to be interesting. So I'm going to ask all those in favour of the motion, which you will remember is this House believes that the increasing use of technology and social software is damaging students' minds and undermining the benefits of traditional methods of learning. I'm going to ask you to raise your hands if you're in favour of that motion. All those in favour of the motion, raise their hands. This is going to be difficult. Right. All those against? Yeah. I would say that we need to count that one.
Roll call.
Yeah. Hyatt, could you give us a hand? Yeah. I think let's just have it one more time, and maybe we can agree between ourselves. All those in favour, raise your hands.
Raise your hands all the way. No half-hearted hand holding. Only one. Only one. Yeah, this is way less than half.
Some of you seem scared. You're sort of going like this.
Don't change your opinions.
Technology colleagues will beat you up afterwards.
Okay, and all those against? Yeah, I would say I personally would say it's just against, without counting. Yeah, just. But thank you very much indeed, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you to our panelists all our presenters. I think have been very, very interesting and spirited, and we've had an excellent discussion. And they put up a very good fight. So congratulations to them. Thank you.